Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Chrono Trigger. Last time we returned to the time of antiquity in order to travel to the Mountain of Woe with the goal of rescuing the Guru of Life, who turned out to be a past version of Melchior. However, we were unable to prevent Shala from being kidnapped by Dalton as part of the Kingdom of Zeal's plan to harness the power of Lavos. So, the villain has taken Shala to the Ocean Palace, and that is where we're going to be going next on our journey. Before going any farther, I would highly recommend that you stock up on any items that you feel will be necessary for the fight ahead. So it'll be a good idea to go ahead and grab whatever we need. So the shops around here have changed since last time, and we got some new equipment. So that could be good to grab before the next area we go to. So make sure you are stocked up on plenty of items. We could use a couple more Athenian water, given what we've been through. And we got plenty of MP recovery, so I don't think we need to worry about that. So there's a couple weapons around here we can grab. The Smiter's Blade for Frog would definitely be good. Has good attack power, and it increases damage to magic beings. So that'll definitely be very nice for us to have. Definite upgrade to the Radiant Blade. And in terms of other stuff we can grab, we of course have Platinum Helms and Platinum Vests. So those would be good to invest in. So we can grab 4 Platinum Vests, and looks like we're not going to be able to grab any of these helms unless we sell a couple items. So let's go ahead and equip some of these. Actually, they don't offer too much of a defense boost compared to the plate. And considering what we're going to be going up against a bit later, might be a good idea to switch these vests for the plate, just depending on what foes we're going to be up against. Alright, is there anything we can sell that would be pretty useful? We don't need the Megaton arm, and we got a spare heavy hand we don't need to worry about. You can go ahead and sell most of the items that you can get here, but anything that has good bonuses, like the elemental plates, I would definitely recommend holding on to. Alright, how many platinum helms can we get? Because we're going to need at least 4 of these. Okay, we can just barely buy everything we need. Good. So I want to make sure we are optimally prepared for the fight ahead, because we got a lot we got to worry about. So magic defense would be pretty nice for this area. But we'll just top off our defense. It's typically what I do when it comes to RPGs. I just focus on getting the best defensive equipment I can. Obviously, things that are able to increase multiple stats are very good, and I can recommend those as well, but these should be pretty good for the fights we have ahead. Yep, there is nowhere else we need to go on our journey, but back to the palace. Gonna go ahead and save right quick, and we shall go in. It's definitely been a while since the last time we were in the palace, and that was definitely during more peaceful times before we knew just how bad the situation was and how corrupted the queen was. So these news aren't going to try and stop us, it seems. Sure. The Queen and Lady Shala both have descended to the Ocean Palace. In a short time, we enlightened ones will finally attain immortality. The Ocean Palace is complete. Zeal will reign forever. So the Queen's plan is to awaken Lavos in order to extract its energy in order to bring glory to her kingdom and create an everlasting empire. However, as we know from our journeys into the other time periods, there is no trace of the Kingdom of Zeal besides a couple ruins. So it seems like her plans aren't going to actually help her kingdom at all. And on the topic of Lavos, if you're able to beat the boss of the Mountain of Woe, then this around the point where it'd say you're probably equipped to take on Lavos in 1999 AD. Though that is definitely still going to be a bit of a tall order, but if you're able to beat that thing, then you at least should be able to handle a couple of what you can expect with that particular fight. And if there is any other, if there is any last unfinished tasks that you have around the Kingdom of Zeal, I would recommend doing them now before you proceed. Let's go forward. Humph! Why is that prophet allowed inside while I'm stuck guarding a place like this? Ah, you came. I decided to leave you alone before, hoping you might make that prophet show his true colors, but I've no use for you anymore. Your history! So now we finally have an opportunity to face Dalton. Let's just strike him with a big hit here. So Dalton, of course, has the power of Iron Sphere. Able to strike pretty hard. Being able to just cut a character's HP in half. So I would recommend being able to heal up your party whenever you can. Just make sure you got some good healers in order to protect your party and watch out for his attacks. Well, besides that, this should be a pretty simple battle, all things considered. Let's go for another triple attack. Just do as much damage as we can to this guy. Now, I've alluded to this in the past, but Dalton as a character is definitely one that the Chrono Trigger fan base doesn't have a lot of love for, and it can be pretty easy to see why with this guy. He's just a very arrogant, one-note villain. And, you know, it's perfectly fine for a game to have a villain who's just kind of generic, doesn't have a lot of depth to him. But we're actually able to beat him. His desperation attack, he does a burp, which will damage the entire party. But we were able to handle him. No! I can't be beaten now! Not with eternal life just within my grasp! It seems he's vanished into the portal. So we're going to be going after him in just a second. But yeah, like I was saying with Dalton, he's not really well liked by the fan base, and if you're familiar at all with some of the other elements of the Chrono Trigger series, yeah, it can be pretty evident why. Specifically, the sequel to this game, Chrono Cross, is, I believe, one of the big contributing factors to why people don't like Dalton. And I can't quite say I hate this guy quite to the same intensity as some other players, but it's understandable why. Also, I want to say that if there was ever an animated adaptation of Chrono Trigger, I would really like Richard White, who played Gaston in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, to play Dalton, because I feel like he would be able to play that kind of character very well. But with that said, the path is now open to us. It's time to head to the Ocean Palace. Just take the portal there, and we'll be transported down. It's got this massive high-tech facility down here. If you ever need to return to the Kingdom of Zeal, simply take that portal. But for us, there is only one path to go. So must head into the belly of the beast in order to stop Lavos' awakening. I feel dark energy filling this place. Something frightening stirs. Even the sword spirits don't like what's coming up. Shala, raise the output of the Mammon machine to its limit! Shala, you dare disobey me? Very well, Mother. Oh, what splendor! Behold the incredible power of Lavos! So we got ourselves a pretty interesting area over here. We can step on that switch to trigger a battle against these guys. What are we gonna do for you? Let's go for a lightning and see what we can do. We got a Jinn and a Ghoul. So it seems these guys will be protecting each other. So if that guy was resistant to magic, let's try a physical attack. Nope. Alright, seems like the Ghoul is going to be protecting the Jinn. So we got to focus on that one first. Definitely an interesting idea for a battle where we have an entity that is going to be protecting another. Oh boy, so the Jinn is now fused with the Ghoul. And they combine their powers together. But it gives us one less target to worry about, and we take it out. We get a Lapis by beating that guy. Very nice. But yeah, the Ocean Palace here definitely has a lot we gotta worry about. There are tons of enemy here. We got Red Scouters, as well as a Zealot Mage. So the Red Scouter counters non-fire magic. So, yeah, we gotta worry about that, don't we? Oh, the party's really taking a beating here. So we got enemies that are able to absorb elemental magic, and you gotta strike them with the right attack. And then we got that mage who can lock a character's... He can lock a character so that they're unable to use text. So that's also pretty bad. I believe a panacea will be able to cure that, but we should be fine regardless. So we don't currently have any fire magic in this party, so probably just attack the Red Scouters using regular attacks. Besides that, these guys really aren't that bad. Just strike them with the right magical attack, or strike them with... Alright, I forgot that attack is lightning element. Why am I like this? Alright, you can't heal us. Alright, can you do a heal beam? Because we're kind of hurting over here, Robbie. But yeah, this is a very involved dungeon with a lot of enemies to deal with, so definitely going to need to look for things to talk about while we're going through here. Thankfully, there's been a couple things that I feel would be nice to talk about. We get an Aeonian helmet from there. Don't tell me that's another piece of equipment. Yep. And after I just bought some new gear, too. I guess we'll put that on Chrono. We can give Time Hat to Robbie, sure. And then everyone else is gonna have some standard gear. Okay. It's how it's gonna be for a good chunk of this adventure, I feel, when it comes to our various equipment we're able to get. Got some more Red Scouts over here. We should be able to handle them with a couple of melee strikes. So in terms of some stuff that's been happening recently, so yesterday, I finally managed to take down the Ender Dragon in Minecraft, which is something I've been wanting to do for many years now. And yeah, I was very happy that I managed to take care of that. It was definitely an interesting battle. Felt good to finally take care of it after all this time. And it definitely makes me feel good about eventually doing this game for my channel at some point. Because I do want to stream Minecraft at some point soon. Alright, Robbie just learned a new tech. I'd love to show that off in the next battle, if we get the chance. Which should be right over here. So over here we got some... looks like regular scouters. So I don't believe they have any elemental affinity here. Alright, so Rapid Fire Fist. I believe this is going to be Robbie's strongest physical attack. If we can pull this off here. Don't put him to sleep. Thank you. So yep, that's just a rapid strike of melee attacks to a single enemy. Very good. Now that we learned that, how about we switch Robbie out for someone else, so we can give them a chance to shine over here. We grab a Rune Blade over in that chest. So that is not for you. Alright, that looks like a definite improvement over the Smiter's Blade. God, we just bought this thing and we're already getting better weapons here. That's what I get for not doing enough research about these areas and what you're able to obtain. But sure, that'll be a good weapon for Wart here. So let's swap Robbie out for Ayla, because I believe she is next to learn a tech after Wart. But yeah, this is going to be a big area that we're going to be going through with tons of enemies to deal with, tons of treasure we can grab. So do your best to try and get everything here on your first visit, because we're not going to have a lot of opportunities to grab everything here. Go ahead and put that on Chrono, and yeah, there's nothing else we need to worry about for anyone else. So let's deal with these guys. So I'm going to charm the scouters and see if we get any good loot from them. So that got us a lapis. Ooh, that is really good. Alright, so these guys appear to be weak to lightning magic. So we'll want to strike at them with Chrono's lightning. Could you go ahead and charm this guy? Yeah, that is really good. It's definitely a good reason to bring Ayla into the party. Not only is she a very solid attacker, but being able to steal items is just such a good boon to us. And especially with the lapises, because those restore a large amount of health. So trying to think about how we want to travel through this area, because we do have quite a few different things to worry about. So let's charm the mage over here and see what that will do for us. So So that gets us a barrier sphere. So that is a pretty interesting item. You can use those in order to bestow temporary stat buffs to the party in battle. I would mostly recommend using them against bosses rather than regular enemies, though. So I know I've gone over them a little bit before, but we never really had a good opportunity to actually discuss what those items are able to do. But yeah, at some point I probably am going to actually demonstrate the usefulness of those items. Just in this leg of our adventure, we haven't had a really good opportunity to. Alright, so these guys definitely look water-coated. So let us have Wart blast them with Water 2. And if they somehow survive this, we can have Ayla steal from them. Nope. So that just washes them away with a deluge of water. Very good. So we hit this switch that causes another Jinn and Ghoul to appear. Alright. So definitely gonna have some good fights over here against these guys. We got a shield sphere. So that really isn't the best. Alright, that's the guy weak to melee attacks. Okay, and now they're just gonna fuse together. Sure. So I didn't mention this before, but I did put the golden stud on Chrono, just because he's going to be in the party for a good chunk of the game. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity to just be able to have more opportunities to use techs with him specifically. Okay, we're definitely going to need a heal after this. At least we can do some good damage to the blue scouts. And we'll finish off the mage. Very good. Get another lapis for that, and in this chest we get an Empyrean Blade. So that is a weapon for Crono. However, it's much weaker than the Swallow we got before, so we're not going to worry about that. Let's go ahead and use some items to heal up. Okay, very good. That should be everything we can do over there. We got Shockwave. So what is that item? So that is an I'm not going to inflict confusion. I have a feeling that might be a weapon for Luca. Yep. So that is a gun. Definitely good power over the Mega Blaster, and it can inflict confusion on a hit. So that could be good to give her for now. Definitely very good. And then we got these Red Scouters. Just going to focus on attacks on these guys, since we don't have anyone that can use fire. So in terms of some other stuff that's been going on, as I said, I've been playing through Minecraft over the last couple of weeks, and definitely been having a fun time of that. Been definitely getting a lot of good information about for when I eventually stream that game on this channel, which I don't know when that's gonna be, but it should be a fun time. And what I've also been doing, because of a recent Let's Play by one of my favorite content creators, Chugga Conroy, I've actually decided to revisit Mario and Luigi Dream Team, and I've been definitely having a pretty fun time with that. I was actually playing it a little bit before I started streaming Chrono Trigger, and oh boy, the battle I was doing there was quite nasty. I'll say that much. So now we got ourselves both a red and a blue scout to deal with here. So we're going to want to use single target magic against these guys, so that we don't accidentally trigger a counterattack on the other one. Then we can finish this guy with another attack. Very good. If you survive this, maybe... Nope. I was thinking we could probably charm that thing and see what we could get, but never mind. We got a lapis for that, as well as a level up. And, of course, we got more of these guys. But yeah, it's definitely been fun revisiting Mario and Luigi. Uh-oh, he is been confused. You know what? We're gonna boulder toss that guy. Why not? It's definitely been a while since I last played it, and one of the things I was really excited about revisiting is... I don't know, just getting a chance to potentially 100% it after taking care of quite a few different things that are available in the game. Because, as you would expect for a Mario RPG, there is quite a lot of content to this particular game that I'm excited to get to revisit. And of course, the combat is pretty darn fun, as typical Mario and Luigi games are. They're very dynamic and cinematic, which I definitely appreciate for those kind of games. Get a sonic bow from that chest. That's going to be a weapon for Misty. Can inflict slow and has much better power than the comet bow, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. Seems that path will... So hitting that switch will open up another path for us. So that's good to bear in mind. Alright, Wart, you can blast that guy with water, and... Sure, Ayla can charm this guy. Let's try and steal more items. Really? We missed? And even though we didn't actually hit him with an attack, he's still going to counter us. Sure, that makes sense. Okay, Wart, you can do a heal, and then we'll just strike this guy down. So yeah, I've definitely been giving some thought to what I'm going to be doing next after we wrap up Chrono Trigger, since we are getting pretty close to the end of the game here. It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm still weighing what we're going to be doing next, but I have a pretty good idea. It's actually something that I previously played over on my Twitch channel back in the day, but I feel like it would be very good to revisit it now, especially because of my new PC, which would hopefully give us a good opportunity to experience as much of the game as possible. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. It's definitely something that I've wanted to get to play again pretty soon. And after the last time I played it on my new rig, yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll have a fun time with it. And depending on how things go, next week we're probably not going to do We're probably not going to do any stream sessions next week, considering that I am most likely going to be away for a couple days, as I'm going to be over at a cottage in order to celebrate my mother getting remarried. So that's going to be very fun. Definitely looking forward to that. So after dealing with that, it should open up the path forward to us. Very good. And I don't believe there's anything else we need to worry about around here. Took care of everything in the main room here. But I believe there is something we can see over... Was it over this way? Yeah, we took care of that. And then we went over here. Yeah, I think we've done everything we need to worry about in that area. How close are we? We are pretty darn close. Okay, that's good. And Wart is hurting a bit when it comes to MP. So we'll give you a mid-ether. We have a lot of these at this point in the adventure, so I'm not going to be too conservative with them. But it seems we got a new enemy to face over here. So that'll be pretty fun to take care of. So that guy is a monk. Yeah, pretty simple name. This is actually the same type of guy that we saw guarding the Blackbird, which is the airship that is owned by the Kingdom of Zeal. So yeah, these guys are also associated with the kingdom. So it'd be best to take care of those guys as quickly as we can. As you'd expect of a monk, they could hit pretty hard. So watch out for that. Wart's level increased, Ayla's level increased. But we didn't get anything new there. So we got this big pit over here, but it doesn't seem like there's anything we can do. I can see something sparkling over there, but we can't access it just yet. So, just gonna have to head down the stairs. Uh-oh, it's an ambush! Alright, we can strike two of these monks together, and... let's do a blast of water here. Alright, so that's what you want to watch out for. The monks can double team you in order to do damage, and that's pretty nasty. Let's see what we can get by charming these guys. Provided they survive this attack. Nope. Okay, I guess we can take another spear from the mages. Yeah, barrier sphere, sure, we'll take that. Hey, how dare you lock my commands? I need those. And we're able to finish off that guy. Very good. After being that, Wart learns Cure 2. So as you would expect, that is going to be even better curing magic. Restores a large amount of HP to a single ally. So that is definitely going to be helpful. You can go ahead and heal us up, buddy. And we're going to put you on a break for now. So you definitely served us pretty well here, Frog. I appreciate that. And let's bring in Misty. Definitely been a little while since we've gone to see her in action. And what do you have? Oh yeah, you got Ice 2. So you got some more powerful ice magic we're able to wield. And Ayla's got something coming up pretty soon. So we got a bunch of these monks over here. If you manage to hit them while you're going down here, they'll eventually just come down into this chamber, and then you have to deal with all of them at once. Alright, let's go for a charm, see what we're able to get from these guys. And then we'll crush them with ice. You actually don't do too much damage with that counterattack, which is definitely good. Enemy has nothing to give but gratitude. Okay, so that means this is not an enemy you want to charm. They do not have any items. Either that, or they're not attracted to Ayla's charms. But I mean, look at her. How can you not love that? Uh-oh, looks like Chrono is confused. I guess that's another effect these guys can do, which is definitely not on the good side. Could definitely use some healing after this. And of course we have the one healer that's not able to heal the entire party, but we'll be fine. Got plenty of ways to take care of these guys. Alright, Ayla's out of MP here. Learned Twin Charm Dual Tech, as well as Ice Toss, and Iceberg Toss, and Ice Sword 2. Alright, definitely been a while since we had this party combination, so makes sense. That's obviously going to be a lot of more powerful techs we're able to get out of both Ayla and Misty in the party. So that's definitely good. Yeah, you can take a mid-ether. Actually pretty close to needing to use one of those on Chrono, but we should be good. Just head down the stairs. And we got some more of these guys to deal with. Alright, I'm actually going to wait a little bit so that we can see if we can get this dual tech off, since we do have it available now. Cut it out, guys. Uh-oh. Alright, we can do Twin Charm, which can... which I don't think we're really going to need to worry about. Hit all foes in a circle with a Spell Blade with Ice 2. Alright, let's try this out. So that is going to be a huge blast of ice upon a group of enemies. Wow! Look at that damage! That is so good. I'm feeling really good about having this particular party in this area. And we get a level up on ourselves. Very good. And Misty leveled up. Alright, let's head deeper. Oh boy, we got a big guy over here to deal with now. Or he's just gonna leave. Sure. Let's boulder toss this guy. Then Chrono can wind slash those two. Damn, Ayla! These guys really don't have much when it comes to defense, do they? Okay, Marl, you need to heal up Ayla, because she is really hurt right now. Alright, do another boulder toss, and then Chrono can strike with another wind slash. God, that is beautiful. Alright, you know what? Let's go for another dual tech. We can do Iceberg Toss, which is a group ice ice damage attack. Definitely pretty handy. Ah, that is beautiful. Oh, hey, dude. Dreamstone has been used throughout the ages. The Mammon Machine and that pendant were made from it, and so is that knife. We are the embodiment of Melchior's hope, sealed within the knife. Hurry if you mean to confront the Queen. Hope rests in your hands. Ah, I can feel it. The pulse of life eternal. What is this dark energy? Ah! Oh. The Mammon Machine! Your Majesty, it's too dangerous to continue! Mother! Don't stop, Shala! We've only a little longer to go! Immortality will be ours! Zeal will have the eternal glory it deserves! So long have I waited. She has been completely consumed by her own greed. There's nothing more that can be done for her. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up with a shelter, and then we should be good to keep going. Got some more of these guys we can deal with. Should be the same as the last time we fought these guys. Just gonna go for melee attacks against one of them. And, yep, that takes out the first one. So now we just got the Djinn to worry about. So I believe... Yep, now that the ghoul's shield is dispelled, we can strike at it. Not with that. Okay, let's try a melee attack against this guy. Yep, now that the barrier is down, its physical defense just completely drops. And Ayla gets a level up for that. Very nice. Oh boy, this area. Let's got ourselves another group to deal with here. So we got some enemies that we need to attack with lightning as well as ice. So you definitely want to be careful. Strike at the guys with their respective elements, and you should be fine. Alright, lightning against you, and ice against you. And Ayla learned Tailspin. So that is going to be a stronger physical attack for Ayla. Be nice to show that off in a bit. So if we hit this button, reveals that we are on a giant elevator. So we got ourselves a sequence where we got to strike multiple different enemies while we're riding the elevator. So this is definitely a pretty nice area for us to test out our new abilities. Sure, go ahead and use your counter. Okay, now that that's dealt with... For some reason, Ayla's only able to target these guys with the tailspin. Fine. But yeah, that is a group attack. Where you can strike at multiple enemies. Can definitely be pretty nice. Speaking of nice, let's blast these guys with ice. We got a lot of options for dealing with these guys, so let's just do our best. Alright, there's the Fraternal Fusion. So those guys fuse into one, giving us one powerful target to deal with. Let's go for a drill kick. Bam! Very good. But yeah, for this sequence, we got ourselves a lot of different enemies to deal with while we're riding the elevator. And we picked up a new attack on Chrono. Luminaire. Attacks all enemies with Holy Light. So this is the strongest magic attack that Chrono has at his disposal. Just unleashes a massive blast of energy. Just going totally supernova on these guys. Damn! That was very good. And we get some level ups. Alright, then we got a whole bunch of these guys to deal with. Okay, I'm gonna want Ayla to focus on the fire guys, and then Chrono and Marl will take care of the lightning and water guys. That should be our strategy here. So while we're dealing with some more of these fights, something else I want to mention is a bit earlier, I wanted to revisit the Toy Story movies, and last week, I decided to watch not only Toy Story 2, but also Toy Story 3. And, oh man, it was so good to return to those films. Like, everything the first Toy Story movie set out to do with its concept, the sequels definitely blow it out of the park with how good they are. I love those movies so much. And, yep, I will definitely admit that while watching those videos, I did cry a little bit. What can I say? I just really love those movies. It's definitely very fun to get to revisit them, especially with a lot of their amazing moments. Truly some of the best that Pixar was able to handle during that time. So we got that station, which I really don't know what that does, but we go over here, the elevator is back up and running. And thankfully, we don't have to worry about battling enemies over here. But now that we're up at the top, we can grab this magic capsule that was taunting us before. Very good, we were able to pick that up. Alright, let's give that to Crono, because he can always use more magic. Especially now that he has Luminaire. So, Ayla just learned a Tailspin. So, I think we're gonna pull you out of the party for now. And let's bring Luca in. So that we can try and get something new for her. Also, now that these two are both Ice 2 and Fire 2, I'm definitely expecting to see some pretty good stuff with this combination. Depending on how things go. Yeah, if we simply leave and come back, we... Oh, are you kidding me? The elevator's gonna go? I thought it was gonna stay! Ah, that's annoying. Alright, can we make it through here without... No. You know what? I don't care anymore. We're just gonna nuke these guys with Luminaire. This is our best attack we have at the moment, so why not just use it? So obviously it's not going to work on enemies that have resistance to lightning, but, you know, it's also pretty good. And we just learned a new triple attack, which is Delta Force. So that has an elemental blast using our lightning, ice, and fire abilities that's able to deal shadow damage. So, how about we show that off here? Behold, the full might of our magic power! So yep, that is very nice. Now obviously that attack is shadow magic, so you gotta watch out against enemies that are able to resist that element. But besides that, it is pretty darn good. Oh, come on, I want to sneak past those guys. Fine, we'll just Luminaire them, I don't care. But also, seeing that elemental attack has definitely reminded me, because earlier today, a new episode of Death Battle debuted on YouTube that I was definitely very excited to get to tune into, as it was the long-awaited battle between Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Traveler from Genshin Impact. And I was definitely very excited to tune into this fight in particular, as I'm a big fan of both of those series. And yeah, it was definitely a very fun fight. And not going to spoil anything, but the character I expected to win the fight did in fact win. So, that was definitely very nice. But what was also a nice surprise from that video is they confirmed the next death battle is going to be a fight between characters from different LEGO properties. Specifically, we got a death battle between Kai from Ninjago and Tahu from Bionicle. And as you probably tell from some of the earliest videos I have on this channel, I am a massive fan of Bionicle, so I am really excited for this fight. I hope that Tahu gets the win, because honestly, I'm not that much of a Ninjago fan, despite being so into LEGO. Oh, come on, I had to deal with these guys again. I can't use Luminaire, because those guys are just gonna resist lightning damage. But yep, I am definitely excited for the next Death Battle episode. That one should be a treat. Ow. But yeah, besides all that, with some of the other things I talked about, something else that is pretty interesting is some new details were released with regards to the new Switch 2 version of... Oh, come on, I seriously have to do these battles again, too? Fine. Just gonna Luminaire most of them anyway. But yeah, new development was made with regards to the Switch 2 version of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I was quite excited to get to hear about. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to start playing that game again pretty soon. Anyway, we just learned Cure 2 with Misty. Definitely happy for that. Okay, that guy's weak to lightning. Let's just Luminaire again. And one of the big things they revealed is a new blade you're able to use in that game. And how this particular character is a cameo from the Xenosaga series, which is definitely pretty interesting. Specifically, it's a character named Momo, and I myself don't have a lot of knowledge with regards to the Xenosaga games, but it is pretty cool getting to see these various characters getting a return on a modern game after all this time. So I've definitely wanted to visit the Xenosaga games at some point after getting to experience Xenoblade, and maybe one day I'll finally get the chance to, but for now, it just doesn't seem likely. Although it would be nice to see a remaster of those games at some point. Oh no, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, at least we're done the elevator ride. So we are done here, so let us head over this way. Setting that switch doesn't really do anything for us. So what we want to do is head over here, and we need to attack these guys. It's got some more elemental guys to deal with. So at the moment, I think I'm going to be sticking with this team. Since we got so many of these guys that are weak to elements, I just feel like this is a good party to be able to damage these guys. And also, we managed to learn a good supply of techs on our characters, so not too worried about prioritizing one over the other. So hitting that switch is going to be good to us. Also, I wanted to look into Cure 2, so that restores a large amount of HP to a single target. So once again, Misty's a good healer, but she doesn't have the ability to heal multiple targets unless you have a dual tech. And then we got more of these guys over here. Okay. So we can handle the rest of this riffraff. So after dispatching of those guys, we get a level up on Misty. And after flipping that switch, we should now be able to press this button. And that's going to open up the way forward. We get an elixir there, and then we have a save point. So I definitely suspect we're going to have a battle here, so go ahead and heal up. And if this is going to be what I think it is, so I'm going to change up our armor a little bit. I'm going to lose out on some defense, but I believe this is going to be a good call. It's going to put the white, blue, and... yeah, let's give you the red plate. We're going to miss out on a lot of the perks of having Taban's suit, but we should still be fine with this configuration. Alright, let's go forward. You truly made it all this way. Perhaps I did underestimate you. But this is the end. My pets will put a stop to you. Come forth, Golem sisters. So once again, we got a battle against golems. This time we got 2 of them to deal with. Like I said before, I highly recommend that you strike these guys with magic. Otherwise, you are just going to be pelted with very damaging attacks. Okay. So, Luca, go ahead and heal yourself with a high potion. And then we're going to want to blast the Golem Sisters with our magic attacks. This is why I also recommended equipping the elemental plates, as those will be able to absorb the damage that the golems are able to do to you. And with having a mostly magic-focused party here, we should be able to handle anything this duo can do to us. Luminaire is definitely going to be doing a bulk of the damage here. But Marl and Luca are also pretty solid attackers as well. But yeah, I'm not too worried about this fight here. I remember my first playthrough, this was actually a fight that gave me a lot of trouble. Because I believe the party I was using here was Chrono, Frog, and Robo. And yeah, I wouldn't exactly call that a great party for fighting the golems. But we should have plenty of chances to deal with these guys. So just like Dalton, they're able to burp as a desperation attack. And that takes care of the Golem Sisters. Yep, not really that hard of a fight, as long as you strike at them with magic. Grr, the sisters too? I suppose I've but one choice left. What's this? I feel something strange. Could this be Lavos' energy? This won't do at all. All my hard work will be in vain if I die before attaining immortality. It seems this is your lucky day. Farewell! And, of course, the jerk is just going to flee. But, yep, I think we are just about at the end here. And, oh boy, look at our levels. That's real good. So, it'd actually be a good point to try and fight... this would be a good point at this level to try and fight Specchio in order to get his rewards before he levels up again, but yeah, we've already managed to come this far. Let's press onward. This is the Mammon Machine Altar. Now's the time if you want to turn back. No. There is no going back now. Shala! We're here to save you! Come on! We just made it in time. It's a pity, but I'm afraid we have to shut down that machine for good. You're... Help! Shala! What are you doing, Shala? Control the machine! Hayden, the knife! Quickly, Hayden! There's no time! Here we go, Mune! Ready when you are, Masa! So the ruby knife was really the Masamune. The machine's energy transformed the knife into a sword? The Mammon Machine! It's too late. He comes! It's no use. That sword alone cannot stop it. So the Masamune was originally forged with the purpose of destroying the Mammon Machine. However, it wasn't enough. Destruction reigns from the heavens. We came all this way in order to stop Lavos. But it was all for naught. We weren't strong enough. How long I've waited for this. It's been quite some time, Lavos. I swore on that day long ago that I'd destroy you, no matter the price. It's time to fulfill that vow. Feel my wrath, Lavos! You truly think you possess the power? What are you but a false prophet? You'll be no more than grazings for the great Lavos. Mother, please stop this madness! This power can only end in ruin! Step aside, Shala! The almighty life force of Lavos flows through us all! You are a part of it! You cannot change that fate now! Oppose me and I will destroy you! Ah! Come, prophet of lies! Feel the power of Lavos!
My magic! He's draining it! I won't be beaten! I endured the darkness alone, for the sole purpose of defeating you! Take this, Lavos! Grah! What? No effect at all? Grah!
Fool! Your pitiful powers are no match for his! I shall give you a gift! Eternal life as part of Lavos! Can you move, Hayden? Please, help Shala! Are you alright? At this rate, we're all doomed! Please escape, Hayden! Mere mortals haven't the means to stop such power! Hayden, is it? Why not do as Shala says and run away, tail betwixt your legs? Is your life not precious to you?
Shala! Is Shala alright?
So the prophet all this time was Magus in disguise. And his true goal was to destroy Lavos. However, even he failed. You've still not given up? What do you hope to do? You would challenge Lavos alone with that battered body of yours? Gaze upon the power of Lavos and your doom! Hayden! No! Hayden! Hayden? Hayden!
I won't give up! Forget it, kid! You can't stop it! No!
One among you will shortly perish.
No! I haven't the power to defeat him then?
Hayden! Where's Hayden? No! Hayden, there was nothing I could do. The last of my pendant's power will send you to safety. I know you'll not be able to forgive her, but please do not hate my mother or our kingdom. I'm so sorry. Now, quickly, to the surface. Hayden. Oh, this ain't good.
A tidal wave!
Hayden. Hayden! Hold it, Hayden! Hayden! Hayden!
You've woken. You were most fitful in your sleep.
Hayden! Where's Hayden?
We found no other.
So it wasn't a dream. Where are we? Is this the village of the Earthbound ones?
This island was the only refuge left after the Ocean Palace unleashed its ruin. No others remain.
No, not this era too. Melchior! Where's Melchior?
When the disaster struck, an eerie black portal materialized before young Lord Janus. Melchior tried to save the boy prince, but succeeded only in getting himself dragged in as well.
A black portal? A gate? What about Shala?
That I cannot say. No one has seen her since.
The Epic! What happened to it?
Your ship is a sturdier vessel than one might venture. She washed up safe and sound, right in your wake. It was almost as though she were drawn to you.
Hayden. Misty. If the Epic's okay, the gut tells me that Hayden is too.
Ah, yes. I believe this is yours.
My pendant. I'd given it to Hayden to hold for me.
I found it resting upon your shoulder, my lady, almost as though it were guarding you.
Hayden.
Take all the time you need to rest. I will be in the village commons just beyond.
So as of this moment, Chrono is no longer a member of our party. In the end, he faced Lavos himself, but was utterly powerless against it. And so, he is gone. So the only thing we can do now is carry on. So yeah, that scene is definitely a big one. We tried so hard to try and prevent Lavos' awakening, but in the end we were powerless to stop it. And as a result, the Kingdom of Zeal is no more. And what little of the land there was has been completely washed away. So I believe if we access our map here, yeah, this is what's left. Everywhere else has been completely washed away. The Kingdom of Zeal was completely destroyed. And what remains are only a handful of survivors. We failed. So, now seems as good a time as any to call it here. Next time on Chrono Trigger, we're going to figure out what we're going to do next. So until next time, have a good day, and take care.